Welcome back from that short break. Imaisa, political analyst and an indigene of Kogi State. What happened? I mean, we're seeing diverse and serious controversy after the conduct of the political parties. I'm not sure what political party you would like to start with, the All Progressive Congress, which happens to be yours, or the People's Democratic Party, where Senator Dino Melaye emerged the candidate for the party. So let's start with your party, I guess. I think that's the best place.
Let me start with Kogi State.
Let's start with Kogi State.
Kogi State is one of the 36 states of Nigeria Federation. And due to some, break in transmission during the electoral processes, somebody went to court. So the election of Kogi State also was among the state elections that were staggered. So therefore, come November 11, 2023, there will be an election to elect the governor of Kogi State. Now we have political parties that want to field governorship candidates. And by INEC guideline, they ought to go for primary election and field a candidate. Now, if you look at the Electoral Act prescribes three methods: the direct primary, indirect primary, and the consensus mode of electing a candidate of a party. Now, APC, as at last 3 weeks, had 18 aspirants who had indicated interest, bought their form, went for screening, and they were all screened. Now, the party at different states, Kogi State not different, had their different way of coming together, because you see, the political party process is a family affair business. So where everyone is qualified, but it's not everyone that will get there. One person from, like in the case of Kogi State now, 18 people, and one person is going to emerge. So at the end of the day, I was aware, I was in Lokoja, but I was not in that meeting where the stakeholders meeting was held in Government House. At the end of the day, the governor spoke generally to everyone, and at the end of the day, the horse trading and all the here and there, led to the withdrawal or stepping down of about seven aspirants,
right,
starting from the deputy governor, who everyone had the impression, had the thought that he is going to be the candidate, he is going to emerge from that primary. But that is one thing in politics. Politics is a game. You play here, I play here. It enter for you today, or it may not enter for you. I, for once, I had contested election before primary, and after the horse trading, we were made to step down for the incumbent, and today he has been returned elected as the House of Assembly member representing Ofu constituency in Kogi State. So that is politics for you. So
we will get to all of that.
Yes, now I just want to lay the background.
You jumped the wrong. I need us to lay the background properly, from where the court also cancelled the congresses that were conducted.
Yes. Now let's focus. I just use that as
because it will give us basis as to how the elections were conducted, the primaries were conducted, and why some people actually believe that it was concocted. It was a concocted list.
That's where I am going. Right. I am talking about the horse trading in the political process,
which is actually
democracy. You lobby here, I lobby here, somebody lobby here. At the end of the day, there are some people, no matter how you like it or not, yes, the party process belongs to the people, but there are still some people that to a large extent will take decision,
of course,
on behalf of the party. The leaders of the party would have come together and put their head together. So what happened at the back door that led to the stepping down of the governor, the deputy governor, the current chief of staff, the current accountant general of the state, and the commissioner of finance, and other people that stepped down, only God knows. So now about 4 people said, no, we are not stepping down. We are going into the election, including the
Senator.
person that is said to have been the winner now, which is Ahmed Usman Ododo, Senator Smart Adeyemi, Yakubu Muritala Ajaka, who is currently the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of APC. So you see the caliber of people. They know their onions. They know what their people want from them.
And they know politics.
And they know politics. You cannot push Smart Adeyemi to one corner. Smart Adeyemi has been the president of NUJ and he has been senator for 3 times. So you cannot push him aside.
Of course.
So, and he has been advisor to several governors before. So he is not somebody that you can push aside. They know politics. So they went into the political process. Now, the process says that it is going to be a direct primary. Direct primary means every member of the party will converge on the headquarters of the ward. Now in Kogi State we have several wards, I think about 200 and something wards in Kogi State. Now I can tell you that in my own ward, either we like it or not, that is just the reality. People came out and they were counted. Who they voted for, at the end of the day, the result that we saw say that a particular person has emerged. So now, different candidates, different aspirants.
I need you to take it slowly. There's an aspirant, Senator Smart Adeyemi, in fact, came out to say that elections were not conducted and that people actually did come out, but we did not see the materials. INEC was not there, and the party agent, the party personnel who were supposed to conduct these elections, in fact, he said in all words, apart from where they converged, in his words, they converged in a certain place, and that constituted what the primaries was. But in all the wards around the state, there was no election. So you are going against what he said.
I am not one of the campaign manager of Smart Adeyemi. I am a member of APC in Kogi State. Right. And I'm telling you what happened. Now, you see, your ward, people came out. There's a delegation, of 7 people led by the governor of Zamfara.
Of course.
As the chairman of that election, primary election. The secretary of that election is Honorable Patrick Obayagbo, who is the former House of Rep member, and a few other people that were there. Now, you know that these 7 people cannot go to all the wards.
Of course.
So therefore, they have to set local election committees.
Of course.
Now, to go to all the wards. And you see, we have been having this issue as a people. Not even APC, including PDP and other political parties. Our problem as a nation, as a people in Nigeria, we don't like following right method. We don't like doing the right thing. So that, as we have said, this is what we want to do. Every other thing is inconsequential, and that is why our democracy is still struggling to come out of the cocoon. But now it should be flying.
Where you're going with
now, that's what I'm saying. Now, for instance, in my own ward now, people came out,
right?
But there was no officials, quote and unquote, who were even the officials that they are saying. At the end of the day, the ward leaders, instead of the people staying, and they counted people, you number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. That's why I said at the end of the day, they said this also person won, because there was no, okay, if you are filing behind this person,
the A4 method.
The A4 method. That is what a direct primary is.
Exactly.
The delegate or the agent of each aspirant will carry their leaflet, or what they call poster, and stand. Okay, in that case, we have 4 aspirants. Is that also? So there are 4 agents ought to have been at those wards. Therefore, people will now line up. If you are for Smart Adeyemi, line up here. If you are for Usman Ododo, line up here. If you are for Muri Yakubu Ajaka, line up here. If you are for this other person, line up here. I can tell you that does not happen in that ward. People came out and they said, be on the queue. So that one queue, and they were counted because people were waiting. They waited, and then I said, okay, the ward leaders now said, okay, stand on the queue, and they counted them. So
they were sure of the number of people who came to the ward, but who
those people stood for?
Right.
That is where, and that is why I'm saying that in Nigeria, And I'm not saying that APC has a problem. Neither am I saying PDP has a problem. I am saying we, these people of Nigeria, we have a challenge. We don't like following right process. At that time now, who will you tell? If Smart Adeyemi said he will, because Yakubu Murtala Ajaka is laying claim that in the whole of Kogi East, he is the winner in that primary. You understand? Now, Smart Adeyemi is coming out to say there was no even primary at all.
At all.
Now,
we blame him for saying that.
Of course, because I spoke with people from Kogi West. They said people did not even come out, electoral officers did not come, people waited, and that is to tell you that maybe people from my own ward, they took the initiative instead of allowing their people to stay and wait until they are tired. And that's okay, line up, we count you, then we'll send result of people that come out, then the leaders will determine what to do with the results. Wow. You can imagine. So in their own case, people came out, but there was no electoral officer, there was no INEC officer to monitor this thing. Therefore, there was no counting. Their leaders were not creative. Maybe, let me use that word, were not creative enough to say, okay, line up, let us count the people that even actually come out. So the people stayed until at the end of the day, they were tired, they went away. Some, their leaders said, okay, see us, we are here, we are card carrying member of APC. At this ward, we have been out, nobody to count us, nobody to even show that, okay, these are the candidates. At the end of the day, we are tired, we are going. There are also videos.
Of course,
visuals to that effect. So that's why I'm telling you that we have a challenge. Until we decide to put our house in order, we learn to follow processes. That the right thing should be done. We will continue to have these either in Kogi or in Bayelsa or even in Lagos or in any other state for that matter, until we follow right process and due process. We are not going to anywhere as a nation.
Imaisa, one of the mandates of the Independent National Electoral Commission is to also supervise the primary elections.
Yes.
But we've not heard anything from them as a matter of fact. Where do you think this is headed?
Excuse me. See, INEC have a responsibility, and their role is to come and observe the election.
Exactly.
They have no voice
or influence on it.
They have no influence. Their own is to come and they observe all the process. One, to make sure that the election actually take place and the right thing was done during that election, and they will write their report through their own internal mechanism. They are not to do a press conference. They are not to write to the party. They are to write to the right hierarchy down to the national chairman. Like for instance, in the case of Kogi now, the ward officer that came to monitor the election at the ward would have written to the area council or the local government. In this case of local government, for instance, the local government officials will write to the state, and the state will now make their final report of the election that took place in Kogi State to the national chairman of INEC.
Right.
So now in this case is for their own internal use. So they won't tell you either election take place or it does not take place. It is there that they will use the information. So, but I for once, I did not see any INEC official in my ward. And maybe because I did not know them, but they ought to be there by way of having their identity, so that. But I can tell you, I did not see any INEC officials in that ward that come to either observe or monitor. I have been part of primary elections, either the one that I have contested or the one that we have gone to observe or supervise as a party man, and we have seen INEC will come, they will introduce him and say, okay, here is the INEC. Even campaigns that we have done in 2023 just recently,
right?
All the campaign that I even have the privilege of anchoring as the MC, you see that they will bring an INEC official and say, this is the INEC official that have come to monitor this campaign, to make sure that this campaign goes according to the rules of the guidelines. And in this case, nobody introduced, and I am one of the critical stakeholder and leader of my ward. And there's no way an INEC official would have come here and they won't come and say, leader, see what this person is here to observe this election.
Okay, like you have just alluded that you are a critical stakeholder in your ward. Are you going to do something about this, what you notice, what you observe? Because 2 days ago, immediately after the elections that happened on the 11th of April, names were sent. The APC has collated the names and have sent the name of the new candidate of the state to INEC. So would you petition that for one who stands for, I like to think you stand for what is right?
So everybody in the party will tell you that they stand for what is right. Now in this case, I am not an aspirant. I am a party man.
But it must sadden you.
No, see, the thing is this. I am a party man. I learn from the happenings. I have my own fair share when I contested the election. Exactly. I have learned. So I am now seeing another dimension. So I am learning. Everyone, that one of the reasons why you have to be an active participant in all these kind of processes for you to learn. So that tomorrow, responsibility of authority will come to your head, so you will be able to know how to avoid some of these loopholes.
I like to think, what have you learned from
there are a lot
how not to
good,
do things,
bad and the ugly, right, that I have learned. And that is why I tell you, one thing is that as a people, we don't like to follow processes, due process. Everybody wants to shortcut. What happened at that stakeholders meeting was the reason why all the process, if not the whole process, was going on well up until when the whole thing changed. Now let me take you somewhere. Now the election, the primary election of APC in Kogi State ought to have been indirect election, right? Primary. Now allegations and counter allegations, somebody went to court, and at the end of the day, that the list of the delegate has been tampered with. So court gave judgment that list should be jettisoned and new list. So the party NWC and the leadership, in their wisdom, talked to, okay, the process of going to do another congress and all those things, okay, let's drop it entirely and adopt the direct primary, where every member, every card carrying member, not just a member, you are not a sympathizer. If you don't have membership card, which I have my own, if your name is not on the register, you cannot come to that ward, and you go to your ward, not a polling unit. Every polling unit in that ward will converge on the ward headquarters. You understand? So, and the delegate, I mean the aspirant, will have their agent carry their billboard or their poster signifying them, and they will be on the queue. And everyone that want to vote for aspirant A will file behind his agent. Everyone that want to vote for aspirant B will file behind him. And because of that meeting, where there is a purported direction, of course, he is my governor. Abelo is my governor. I respected him so well, but I can tell you, the fact that I respect him is the reason why I'm making this statement. They did not follow the right channels. Even if you have a candidate or you have somebody you are throwing your support for, you should have allowed the process to go seamlessly. You speak to all the right people that are going to do that voting, the members. You have channels of speaking to the leaders. You understand? And the leaders will speak to the party and say, this is the direction we are going. But when you now say that, okay, that statement makes people to step down. No. What it shows that, exactly? Okay, no, it's on news everywhere that there is somebody that has been chosen. And the governor is a leader of the party in the state. He has the right to support a particular person, but the process of supporting somebody ought to have been clear cut, so that it will not subvert the processes that will lead to the final outcome. That even everyone that eventually lose the election will know that, okay, I was part of this process, but I lost gallantly.
There's something they say often in politics: if you can't stand the heat in the kitchen, get out. I mean, the fact that the governor said, I support this person, should not be reason why others have to drop their aspirations. If indeed they have this huge, this beautiful, noble plans for the state, the fact that the governor has just one vote, ideally,
yes. You see, let me tell you one thing in political space, where 5 persons are actually hoping on the governor
for his one vote,
for his support. The governor you are trying to make this look as if you don't know what you are saying. Yes, you are a journalist, but you should know better.
What do you mean?
No, in Nigeria today,
right?
Every governor want to bring somebody to install his own successor.
That's true.
You understand? So it's not new. It's not anything out of the blue. So it's not something that even as a journalist you are doing dilly-dallying.
I am not dilly-dallying.
Is not an exception.
I'm trying to understand why people had to, except you're telling me that during that stakeholders meeting, the governor spoke to them and asked them to step down or step aside
for somebody to wake up and step down when you are an aspirant and after the stakeholders meeting. You should know, you see, we are not children. You understand? When somebody is speaking to a particular direction, even if he did not say step down, you know that okay, this is where his mind is going. And you know, in Nigeria today, either PDP, APC, every governor want to.
Is that why you stepped aside from your ambition?
See, this is just the reality. It's not a hidden. It's one of the, in fact, principally the reason why I step aside.
Why?
When it was said that this candidate has been anointed by the leader of the party. In fact, in the local palace, they call it a government candidate. You understand? So when you don't fall into the government candidate, then
so what would happen? I really want to know, because Imaisa, if you had gone aside, I saw your campaigns. Yes. I was rooting for you, just like I saw many people in your constituency rooting for you as well. So what would have happened? Have you not seen cases where people stood firm and the will of the people took over? Is that not a possibility?
Now, there are several processes. Right. For instance, there is a rotational policy, right? And another thing, there is
when you say rotational, you're talking about ethnic rotation.
Even ethnic rotation, even some people unwittingly, even religious rotation.
Gentleman agreement.
Gentleman agreement. It's not in the constitution. It's not written anywhere, but it's a gentleman agreement that will now say, okay, this thing has been zoned to this place for fairness. You understand? So therefore, even if you have lofty idea, even if you have the best noble idea that is going to rescue even the people in the next 4 or 5 months of your assumption of office, you now see that okay, they say okay, please, your idea will not perish, just keep it, in fact expand it. By the time is your turn, we'll allow the zoning to that place and see how we work within at the background to make sure you emerge. That is what happened. The workings on the background, that is you know, when you are cooking, you see that the pot is dancing like this, but you don't know what is making the pot to be dancing. So there is a heat, a fire under. So it's that fire that makes some people to now wake up all of a sudden and say, I've stepped down. Because if you said you want to go against the fire that is burning under, it may end up getting your leg burnt. In cases I'm just using innuendos and using this thing. I'm not saying to anybody, so please don't put word in my mouth, and please don't misunderstand me, please.
I don't know why you're being so defensive, but we'll go for a short break now. When we return, we'll still be discussing the Kogi primaries and attendant issues. We'll be right back.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with Kaftan TV 7 p.m. news.
Good to have you join us on Kaftan News at 7.
Nigerians are living in up to 5%. Our young people propose the harmony symphony.
It's good to have you join us on Kaftan TV News at 7. National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment,